Nutrition in plants. All living organisms require energy for their growth and survival. The life processes which are essential for the body to stay alive need energy for their proper functioning. These life processes are digestion, respiration, circulation, excretion, reproduction, etc. All these processes are dependent on energy to function efficiently. This energy is obtained by living things from the food. The food has all the nutrients which provide energy, build the body, and protect from diseases. The plants and animals all obtain food in different ways. Plants can make their own food, whereas all the animals are dependent on them, directly or indirectly. Nutrition. The process of taking food and its utilization by the body is called nutrition. The meaning of the word nutrition is to nourish. The different nutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Nutrients are substances present in our body which provide energy and materials needed by the body to survive and grow. The living organisms show two modes of nutrition: autotrophic mode, heterotrophic mode. Nutrition: autotrophic, heterotrophic. They can prepare food in their own body. They are dependent on others for food. Example: plants. Example: animals and humans. Autotrophic nutrition. The type of nutrition in which a living organism makes its own food with the help of simple substances obtained from the environment is called autotrophic nutrition. The living things which make their own food are called autotrophs or producers. For example, green plants. Heterotrophic nutrition. The type of nutrition in which a living organism depends on other organisms for its food is called heterotrophic nutrition. All animals show heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Hence, they are called heterotrophs. Heterotrophs cannot make their own food and derive food from plants and animals or both. Autotrophic nutrition in plants. The plants are autotrophs. They prepare their own food. Food is prepared by only those plants which are green in color. Most of the plants are green due to the presence of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green-colored pigment present in the leaves and also in the young green stems. The process by which green plants prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight is called photosynthesis. The word photosynthesis can be separated to make two smaller words. Photo means light and synthesis means putting together. Materials required for photosynthesis. The plants need materials for photosynthesis: chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide, water. Chlorophyll. It is a green-colored pigment and is present in leaves in the structures called chloroplasts. Sunlight. Chlorophyll traps sunlight to use it as energy source for photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide. Leaves obtain carbon dioxide from air through the small openings called stomata, present mostly on the underside of leaves. Water. The roots absorb water from soil and make it available for the plant body to carry out photosynthesis. The root consists of primary root, secondary roots, and root hair. The root hair increase the surface area so that required amount of water can be absorbed from the soil. Process of photosynthesis. The plants absorb sunlight through chlorophyll and convert it into food. Here, the light energy converts into chemical energy. Carbon dioxide is absorbed from the atmosphere by the small pores known as the stomata. Stomata are mostly found on the lower surface of the leaves. The food is prepared in the form of sugar and later gets converted into starch. The process of photosynthesis can be represented by the equation 6CO2, carbon dioxide, plus 12 H2O, water, react with light and chlorophyll to give C6H12O6 glucose plus 6O2 oxygen plus 6H2O water. Role of leaves in photosynthesis. Leaves are the main site of photosynthesis. They possess unique features to carry out photosynthesis. The leaf cells contain chloroplasts which have chlorophyll in their cells. The chlorophyll helps leaves to capture the sun's energy. The stomata are minute pores through which exchange of gases takes place. The carbon dioxide is taken in for photosynthesis and oxygen is released as a result of photosynthesis. The leaves are arranged in a tree in a way that they can get maximum sunlight for photosynthesis. Importance of photosynthesis. Life on Earth is impossible without the process of photosynthesis. It is important for the living organisms because the food prepared by the process of photosynthesis is used by all the living organisms directly or indirectly. Oxygen, a byproduct of photosynthesis, is used in respiration. Respiration is the process of releasing energy from food. Hence, without oxygen, no living organism can survive. Photosynthesis maintains a balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Heterotrophic nutrition in plants. The plants are autotrophs and they prepare their food on their own. But there are some plants which cannot prepare their own food. These are called heterotrophic plants. They are dependent on others for food. Heterotroph plants are of 4 types: parasitic plants, saprophytic plants, insectivorous or carnivorous plants, symbiotic plants. Parasitic plants. The non-green plants which obtain their food from other living organisms are called parasitic plants. The living organisms from which the parasitic plant derives food is called host. The common parasitic plants are cuscuta, dodder plant or a marble, and mistletoe. The cuscuta has yellow tubular structures which get attached to the host plants. It has no chlorophyll and cannot carry out photosynthesis. It absorbs food from the host plants on which it climbs through the special structures called hostoria. Saprophytic plants. The plants which grow and live on dead and decaying organic matter are called saprophytes. Sapro, decayed, matter. Phytos, plants. Like mushrooms, molds and yeast are some common examples of saprophytes. Saprophytes, like parasitic plants, they do not carry out photosynthesis. Saprophytes also lack chlorophyll, like mushrooms, release digestive juices on the dead decaying matter and convert it into solution form. They then absorb nutrients from the solution. Fungi are commonly found during and after rainy season because the humid weather favors the growth of fungi. Insectivorous plants. The plants which eat animals, particularly insects, are called insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants. These are green-colored and prepare their own food. They eat insects because they grow in areas where nitrogen is lacking in soil. So the plants growing in such areas cannot obtain nitrogen from the outside. This is done by trapping and eating insects. In pitcher plant, the pitcher-like structure is to catch insects. It is actually a modified leaf. The leaf tip is modified to form a lid which can open or close the mouth of the pitcher. Inside the pitcher, downwards pointing hair are present. Once an insect enters the pitcher, the lid closes and the insect gets trapped in the hair. The insect is digested by digestive juices secreted in the pitcher. Symbiotic plants. The plants which live in association with other plants and share shelter nutrients are called symbiotic plants. This association between two different plants is called symbiotic association or relationship. Some examples of symbiotic association are the association between a green algae and a non-green fungus is called lichen. The fungus provides shelter to algae and in return algae provides food to the fungus because algae being green prepares food by photosynthesis. Certain fungi living in the roots of the trees. These are called mycorrhiza. The tree provides nutrients to the fungus. In return, the fungus provides certain nutrients from the soil to the tree. Replenishing nutrients in soil. The plants absorb nutrients from soil for their growth and development. The continuous absorption of nutrients by plants leads to the decline of fertility of soil. The main reason of this is that the farmers continue growing crops year after year. The nutrient amount of soil goes on decreasing due to the continuous growth of plants. The soil needs regular addition of nutrients to maintain its fertility. The farmers and gardeners add fertilizers and manures in their fields to replenish the lost nutrients so that the fertility of soil can be maintained. The soil nutrients can be replenished by the following ways. By applying fertilizers. Fertilizers rich in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are added in the field depending on the requirements of crops and soil. Examples of some fertilizers used by farmers are urea, superphosphate, ammonophos and potassium sulfate. By adding cattle dung and manure. Manures are obtained by the decomposition of animal and plant wastes. They supply essential nutrients and humans to the soil and make it fertile. By adding compost. Compost is made by the decomposition of biodegradable waste by the microorganisms. It is an organic manure that enriches the soil. It is added in the field to replenish the loss of nutrients. By growing leguminous crop. The crops need a lot of nitrogen to make proteins. After the harvesting season, the nitrogen content of the soil declines as it is used by the crops. Although nitrogen is available in plenty in the atmosphere, but plants cannot absorb it in gaseous form. They need it in soluble form so that they can absorb it from the soil. There is a bacterium called rhizobium which lives in the root nodules of legumes such as gram, moong, etc. These bacteria can absorb nitrogen from the atmosphere and make it available to the plants. Rhizobium cannot make its food, hence it provides nitrogen to the legumes and in return, legumes provide them food and shelter. This is an example of symbiotic relationship. This has great importance for farmers. Fields in which leguminous plants are grown from time to time do not need addition of nitrogenous